Hi, Elle Ingalls here at elleingles.com, pressure-free.com. Welcome to Living Pressure Free with Elle. Tonight I really want to home in on anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety these days, and I want to know from you if you want to drop a comment down here or put something in a private message to me. I'm very curious to know, I really want to know, what is your deepest anxiety? What is keeping you up at night? What is really causing you to feel worried or frustrated or even annoyed? What's happening these days? And so there are a lot of anxieties that honestly, when I was growing up, we didn't even talk about. I don't even remember using that word very much at all. And sure, people were having situations where they felt anxious and there was depression and there was nervousness, etc. But we didn't call it out so much, and we didn't spread it, I guess is the best way to think about it. And so the first one I want to talk about tonight is health anxiety. So health anxiety, that is really on a lot of people's minds these days. And of course, with good reason, there's stuff going down here. We're changing our life in a lot of different ways. So health anxiety, another anxiety that's new that really didn't happen until 2016 was election anxiety. So a lot of people, even with the primaries going on here, are feeling election anxiety. There's just your daily stressors, things that are going on in your work day, in your personal relationships. There's so many little things that can be causing you to have some fear, to have some worry, to make it hard for you to sleep at night. So are you having trouble sleeping at night? Do you need to take medication? Are you smoking a joint to go to sleep? I hear that people do that. Are you taking CBD oil to relax? Are you having to do something in order to get to sleep at night other than just lying down and setting your head down and maybe saying a prayer or two? Are you taking a substance? Are you having to do something rather radical just to sleep at night? So I want to share, I want to focus in on this health thing because it's on everybody's minds, and so much of our life is changing. So I want to give you some really concrete things that you can do right away to start helping with this issue. Because even this morning, usually when I wake up in the morning, I wake up really beautifully. And the first thing on my mind actually is the outside world. I look outside and I listen to the birds. There was a beautiful bird singing this morning. Spring is coming. And I look at this gorgeous pine tree. This morning, when I woke up, the first thing on my mind was the situation with COVID-19. That was the very first thought that I had. And maybe you're having that also. So I thought, wow, that's amazing that was the very first thought that I had this morning. And I was thinking in the context of how can I help people? So I'm putting together something to actually help people. But let's do a little training right now for you. These are things you're going to be able to use right away to diminish the anxiety. That's really what I want to help you with. So I want to help you diminish the anxiety. So the first step that I want you to have is some sort of a health target. Some sort of a health target is, especially if you have an autoimmune disease or diabetes or heart disease or a lung situation, I want you to actually write this down. I want you to write down a health target. It can be something as simple as, I want to stay healthy all the way through the rest of the year. I want to stay healthy. Or I want to have less anxiety to keep myself well. Some sort of a target, something you are aiming for. Maybe it has nothing to do with health, but it's going to keep you in a different space because you're aiming for something. I think of the great scientist Stephen Hawking. How was he able to even stay alive as long as he did? He was on a mission. What is your mission? What during these next days, weeks, months is your mission? What's important to you? So target. Go ahead and write down a target or two, something you really want to focus on. Maybe it does have to do with your health. Step 2 are triggers. Super, super important. You've got to figure out what's really triggering you. So it may be the news. It may be a news report. Are you glued to the news? Maybe you need to not look. because it's triggering you too much. So take a little media fast. I took a media fast a few weeks ago for an entire week. I did not consume any media, and it was pretty refreshing. So maybe you need to take, even if it's just a day or 2 days or 3 days, where you just don't look at a newspaper, open your phone and go right to the news. You don't watch television news and you don't listen to the radio. Choose music. Choose something else. Choose a training. Pop me on, anything, so that you are freeing yourself for a little bit of time there. So you need to figure out, beyond the health news and the media news, what are some other triggers that are causing you to feel anxious or worried, or annoyed and angry, or ashamed? What's causing your shoulders to get tense? What causes you to tense up your jaw, or start coming here for comfort, biting your fingernails, or picking your cuticles, or jiggling your leg? What's causing you to feel any of these things? Those are triggers. And the more you can map them out, like this is a very simple system I'm teaching you. It's very simple, but I can tell you that it's, to do it correctly is the real secret. So I'm just going to share the real bare bones so you can get started. And triggers are really important. It could be, I'm thinking of a baseball player I worked with, how long his sister took a shower. How long his sister took a shower in the morning triggered him every single morning. When he figured out that one trigger, his grades went up because he was no longer causing his body to go into fight or flight and messing up his brain. You cannot make good decisions and you can't remember things when you've gone into fight or flight. This all shuts down. So then you're not going to make a good decision even about how to live your life during this time. So triggers, get some clarity on your triggers, write them down if you need to, get really clear about it. Look for those triggers first thing in the morning. Are you in a rush to get to work? There's a school not far from my home here, and out my window I can see people speeding to take their children to school. I want to go out there and just wave my arms and say, slow down. Your kids are getting all ramped up with anxiety because you are rushing to school. It's not helpful. So figure out your triggers, especially first thing in the morning. Step 3, tools and the 10-second solution. The pressure-free method is so simple. It's so simple. And you can start doing it. When you start implementing it correctly, it's going to change your life. It's really going to change your life. So step 3, tools. Simplest tool you can start right now is to simply relax your abs. When you relax your abs, you tell your brain that you're okay. Your abdominal muscles are a protection. So relax your abs. I'll give you just 3 simple ones that you can use right away. The next one is to smile a little. Just smile a little. The corners of your mouth going up are going to release a chemical called dopamine, which is a feel-good drug, but it's also the thing requiring for this whole brain to be able to work for you. If you can keep dopamine flowing, you will make good decisions. You won't overreact. What we see right now with all these anxieties are people overreacting. We have created a society that is not mature. Everyone is still in middle school, and I'm calling it out right here. Get out of middle school and put on your big girl or big boy pants. And we need to have some maturity, level-headed thinking, and we need to make good decisions. Kelly says, I use this smile tactic all the time when I'm stressed. I love it. And Kelly had me speak at a beautiful event we were talking about heart health, weren't we? That was very cool. So yeah, just a little bit of a smile is going to help keep dopamine flowing and keep you able to think and choose your response instead of overreact. If you find yourself overreacting to the news, then you've gone into fight or flight. Now your body, your immune system is suppressed up to 40% in fight or flight. Up to 40%. That's the thing that's going to cause disease in our country. And we're going to see a huge uptick in chronic disease and chronic mental disease in just a few months after this because of so much overreacting. And I'm not saying that it's not bad. It's the feelings that are the overreacting that we need to stop, if that makes sense. Okay, so another tool I want you to use right away, I call it the empowering question, or flip the switch. You've got to turn the thoughts that are going on in there, the looping that's happening, into something that's going to serve you. The fastest way to do that is to ask a question that empowers you toward solution. So the questions that I have my clients ask are things like, how can I stay healthy? How can I be helpful here? How can I stop overreacting? How can I stay calm? How can I be confident? How can I be of use? How can I solve this? Or what can I? Or if it's a team or family, how can we? How can we solve this? How can we stay well here? How can I help someone? So how can I or what can I? Instead of saying the questions like, I'm just, sometimes we'll say, well, what if this happens to me? What if I get sick? What if my business stops? What if they close down where I work? What if? If your questions start with what if, you're going to go down into a negative spiral. If you can control that and ask the question, how can I? How can I stay financially solvent during this time period? How can I ask for help? How can I find a resource? There's so many resources and so many people that can help us. And we often will shut that off because we're not asking the right questions. So empowering questions. So again, 3 tools I gave you. The first one are abs. Keep them relaxed. I'll write them down here. Abs. Keep them relaxed. The second is a smile. Totally simple. Okay. And then the third is the question. Empowering question. Empowering question helps you move toward a solution. And so I want to help you. I am here. I'm actually, I've just been asked to open up my Pressure-Free You and make it free, like to the entire universe for at least 2 months to help people. So I'm working on that. In the next 24 hours, something's going to come out of Pressure-Free for You to help you because we need it. A client just texted me today, the world needs pressure-free. And that was not a joke. That wasn't even funny. It was completely serious because people are really going to be seriously compromised by all of this anxiety, and it could become chronic for people. And so I'm on a mission. We're going to do something. I hope you will help me do that. I hope you'll push this out, have people go to pressure-free.com. If you have any trouble with any of my links, just message me, please. Sometimes my tech gets a little squirrely, like all people's. And I will be creating something in the next 24 hours. I will let you know here on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. And I will be letting, anyone who's on my email list, if you want to be on my email list, let me know. I will be pushing that out in the next 24 hours so that we can really help people, and especially people that that are feeling anxious. Have a great pressure-free night. Bye.